Before Rowan Atkinson became the legendary comedian known worldwide, he was a quiet child growing up on a farm in County Durham, England. Born on January 6, 1955, he was the youngest of 4 sons in a family devoted to education, discipline, and responsibility. Life on the farm was structured, surrounded by wide fields and the rhythm of country living, and his parents instilled in him and his brothers the value of hard work and perseverance. Childhood held its small joys and routines, but Rowan's mind was often occupied by curiosity and reflection. He observed the world quietly, absorbing details others might miss. The early years were shaped by both guidance and expectation, forming the foundation of a thoughtful, meticulous personality. Even at this stage, it was clear he would approach life with a careful balance of diligence and imagination. A childhood challenge. As a young boy, Rowan faced a difficulty that would quietly shape his life: a stutter. Speaking in front of others was often exhausting, and expressing his thoughts sometimes felt impossible. The challenge made school interactions daunting, and even casual conversation required effort and attention. Though his family provided a supportive environment, Rowan learned early the value of patience and persistence. He became introspective, often observing rather than participating, and found ways to process experiences internally. Despite the difficulty of speaking fluently, his intelligence and curiosity remained unhindered, guiding him toward interests in mathematics, science, and problem-solving. Rather than letting the challenge define him negatively, Rowan's awareness of it fostered a depth of sensitivity, helping him notice subtleties in behavior, timing, and expression. These traits would later form the heart of his unique comedic style. Discovering the stage, Rowan found an unexpected sanctuary in performance. Whenever he stepped onto a stage, whether in a school play or small local production, the tension of speech seemed to ease. The pressure to communicate in his own voice lifted, replaced by the freedom of adopting a character. Acting allowed him to explore expression without the same hesitation he faced in ordinary conversation. It was not simply confidence he discovered, but relief, a sense of liberation from constant self-monitoring. Performance offered a space where imagination and focus overcame fear, creating a sense of empowerment. Over time, Rowan realized that the stage was more than entertainment. It was a safe space for experimentation and self-discovery. This insight would become central to his life, guiding his choices academically, socially, and professionally. Academic pursuits and early interests. Despite his stage experiences, Rowan excelled academically, demonstrating particular aptitude in mathematics and engineering. After completing school, he enrolled at Newcastle University to study electrical and electronic engineering, graduating in 1975. His approach to learning was methodical, combining logic and curiosity in equal measure. While his academic path promised a stable future, the allure of creative expression remained quietly present. Rowan's duality, analytical yet imaginative, shaped his worldview and informed his emerging comedic sensibilities. Even as he focused on equations and research, he maintained connections to performance, attending local theater and nurturing friendships with fellow performers. These early years illustrated Rowan's ability to balance discipline with creativity, forming a pattern that would characterize both his personal life and professional career. Oxford and new opportunities. Rowan continued his studies at the Queen's College, Oxford, pursuing a master's degree and briefly engaging in doctoral research. Oxford offered a vibrant environment that nurtured both intellect and creativity. It was here that Rowan joined the Drama Society and student review groups, stepping fully into performance. His presence on stage began to shift from tentative exploration to confident experimentation. Fellow students noted the transformation. The reserved, thoughtful engineering student became animated, precise and fearless during performances. This period also brought collaborations that would shape his career, including a partnership with writer Richard Curtis. Oxford allowed Rowan to merge his love of logic and structure with his comedic instincts, providing a space where both sides of his personality could thrive in harmony. Physical comedy and innovation. What set Rowan apart early in his career was his natural talent for physical comedy. Inspired by performers such as Buster Keaton and Jacques Tati, he explored movement, timing, and facial expression with exceptional precision. His comedy relied on gestures, posture, and subtle timing as much as words, allowing audiences to connect without heavy dialogue. This approach became a signature strength, making his performances universally relatable across languages and cultures. Physical comedy offered Rowan a creative outlet and a personal safeguard, allowing him to communicate effectively while remaining in control. Through careful observation and experimentation, he developed routines that balanced absurdity with grace, precision with spontaneity. This skill would become central to his style, allowing him to craft characters that were memorable and beloved without relying solely on verbal humor. Early career challenges. Rowan's early career was marked by experimentation and patience. In 1976, he performed with the Oxford Revue at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, gaining initial exposure beyond university audiences. While some found his style unconventional, others recognized originality and discipline. After completing his thesis in 1978, he faced the challenge of entering television, a medium uncertain about performers who did not fit traditional molds. Auditions were stressful, often triggering old insecurities, but Rowan persisted. He recognized that embracing character work allowed him to bypass limitations in speech and self-expression. This period of repeated trials and small successes honed his resilience, shaping his understanding of performance as both art and strategy. By leaning into his strengths rather than trying to overcome perceived weaknesses, he began to find his distinct creative voice. Crafting characters as armor. Rowan realized that fully immersing himself in a character offered both artistic freedom and personal protection. When he became someone else on stage or screen, the constraints that had once held him back, hesitation, doubt, and self-consciousness, fell away. Characters provided a safe conduit for communication, allowing Rowan to engage audiences without the vulnerabilities tied to his own identity. This insight became central to his creative process, turning a personal challenge into a unique advantage. Over time, he mastered the art of hiding inside roles, crafting personas so complete that he could act with precision and authenticity while remaining protected emotionally. This approach laid the foundation for the iconic figures that would later define his career. Reinvention and expansion. Not content to remain in one format, Rowan explored new projects, including a historical sitcom that challenged him to experiment with narrative rhythm and comedic tone. Early episodes faced production difficulties and mixed reviews, but he and his collaborators adapted, refining the format and simplifying elements for clarity. The resulting series achieved both critical and popular success, showcasing Rowan's ability to evolve creatively while maintaining a distinctive style. Projects like these illustrate his commitment to growth, his willingness to learn from setbacks, and his skill at balancing ambition with practical execution. By continually reinventing himself, Rowan demonstrated a rare adaptability that became a hallmark of his long career. A global icon emerges in 1990. Rowan introduced the character that would become internationally recognized. Almost entirely silent, relying on physical expression, the character resonated across cultures, transcending language barriers. The role highlighted his lifelong strengths: timing, movement, and careful observation. Audiences responded enthusiastically, and the character became an enduring symbol of global comedy. Ironically, the near silence mirrored challenges Rowan had faced for decades, blending personal history with artistic triumph. Through this role, he achieved a rare balance of worldwide fame and creative fulfillment, illustrating how personal experiences can inform and enrich performance in ways that resonate universally. Courage and personal conviction. Beyond performance, Rowan's life includes moments of notable courage and integrity. He has spoken in defense of open expression, engaged thoughtfully in debates, and acted calmly in real-world situations requiring decisive action. These instances reveal a depth of character that contrasts with the playful personas he portrays. Through them, Rowan demonstrates that resilience, discipline, and careful observation extend beyond performance, shaping the way he interacts with the world. Such experiences highlight his ability to combine intelligence, empathy, and composure, qualities that have quietly influenced both his career and personal life. Legacy and influence. As Rowan approached his 70th birthday, audiences worldwide celebrated a career spanning decades. His characters continue to delight new generations, and his influence on comedy remains profound. Yet his focus has shifted from fame to meaningful engagement, selecting projects that align with personal values and creative curiosity. Rowan's story demonstrates that resilience, adaptability, and innovation are as central to success as talent. By transforming challenges into opportunities for artistic expression, he has created a legacy not just of laughter, but of inspiration, showing that discipline, imagination, and quiet determination can shape a life as remarkable off-screen as on. A human story of adaptation. Rowan Atkinson's journey is ultimately a story of adaptation and courage. He did not need to conquer every difficulty. Instead, he learned to navigate challenges creatively. His approach to life and performance demonstrates that vulnerability can fuel artistry, that discipline can coexist with play, and that perseverance allows growth, even in the face of uncertainty. For audiences, Rowan is a comic genius whose work spans generations. For himself, he remains a thoughtful, reflective individual continually evolving, a reminder that human journeys are ongoing, and that success is not simply measured in fame, but in the ability to transform experience into art and to live with curiosity, grace, and purpose.